of Charmed Chats.
Episode 106!
Woo! I was not looking forward to this episode.
Yeah. I forgot it existed. I apparently blocked it from my memory.
I wish I had been able to.
No, I blocked it from my memory so successfully that in the credit scene where they show Hecate, I was convinced that was a scene from Buffy.
Well, Buffy did have a monster that looked kind of like that, yeah.
Yes, but I was still absolutely convinced that that was something from Buffy. And how did it get in Charmed? This never happened in Charmed. Yeah. I noticed it in the credits. Like, yep. I wouldn't have known it was really part of the episode because were these credit shots, like, just for this episode? Or were they in the previous episode?
No, they've been in the previous episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I remember her, like, throwing the bridesmaids into the...
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
So they weren't new.
Nope.
So it wouldn't have, like, clicked with me that it would be just for this episode. So I'm like, wait was that in Buffy? Why is that in Charmed? This doesn't happen. Sure enough, it does.
It does indeed. Yeah, this was not my favorite.
Your least favorite, I think.
Yeah, this is my least favorite of the entire series, and I'm not alone in that.
Nope.
I actually have a note in that the executive producer, Brad Kern, was doing an interview for Charmed magazine and stated that, in his opinion, this episode is by far the worst episode of the series. Not the season, the series.
I wonder if they have Charmed magazine at the library.
Really?
They might.
I don't know.
They got magazines.
I don't know. I don't know if they're still making Charmed magazines. So.
Well, they wouldn't still be making it.
Well, but
they might have back copies.
I don't know. Your library might. Mine won't.
And that's what I'm thinking.
My library is very tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very tiny. My old library might have. But, so this one is called The Wedding from Hell.
Because of course it is.
Exactly, Blue. Exactly. It originally aired November 11th, 1998.
But was supposed to air
as the second episode.
In October.
Yeah, it was supposed to be... through the timeline of the episode, it was supposed to be the second episode.
We don't know why they changed it, do we?
No, not at all. But just like last week's episode, that was supposed to be the third episode, this one's supposed to be the second. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, things happen in Hollywood that we are not privy to. They didn't ask my permission or opinion. So, we start out with the Golden Gate Bridge because...
it's San Francisco, and woe be unto ye who forgets that fact.
Absolutely. I think the bridge shot is the most used out of all of the
it's
exterior
some kind of
shots.
stock footage.
Yeah, and then we get the exterior of a big white building, which kind of an interesting looking building, but mostly just big and white.
Looks like some kind of compound.
Yeah, a little bit. And a woman is looking at flowers.
And that woman is Mrs. Howard Epps.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, that's not her real name.
Epps.
But, no, she was on Bones for a couple of episodes. She ended up married to one of the serial killers on there.
Oh, yeah.
Dude who had serious mommy issues and a thing about ammonia.
I do vaguely remember that.
Uh-huh. Like, the first episode she's married to the guy and trying to get approval to be artificially inseminated so they can have a baby.
Interesting. All right.
At the time when he manages to reveal that there are more victims, because apparently they haven't tied one of the victims to him, and they need more, they find more evidence basically, and then they find a bunch more victims, and so his execution date has to be postponed or something, and they have to go through another trial or some shit, and then at one point he escapes and kills his wife, who is then his ex-wife because she thought he was innocent. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't remember that, but
yeah. So it was very interesting.
We're not here for that show, so
it was very interesting to see her young and with her head not in a freezer and with short hair.
Well, alrighty then.
Yes.
Alrighty then.
And extremely tiny, high-placed boobs.
We talk about boobs a lot in this podcast.
I just noticed them. They're way at the top of her chest. And they're tiny.
Freaky boobs are a thing for some women.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Nope. Me either.
My moves are too big to be perky. Anyway.
Anyway.
So, the character's name is Allison.
Yes, and she's got a fiancé,
Yes.
Elliot, who does not look the right age for her age.
Well,
I think it's maybe just his laugh lines or something.
Yeah, he has not aged well. But, so we learned that her name is Allison Michaels.
Yes.
And he jokes about her being Mrs. Spencer or whatever. And his name is Elliot, which means his name is Elliot Spencer. And I immediately thought of Leverage.
Yep.
Because while Charmed is one of my favorite shows, Leverage is my favorite show.
Yeah.
And one of these days, I'm totally going to do a Leverage podcast. And I think it will be you and me.
Yeah.
Leverage podcast. Someone who's seen every episode multiple times in me, and someone who's never seen them in you.
Well, I've seen like 7 of them, maybe.
Well, but there's a lot more than 7.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
And so
like, I've seen
really
gift
think...
sets, so I get a general gist of what's going on. There aren't really too many spoilers. I watched all of the episodes with Mark Crowley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That Mark.
Yeah.
His
Sterling.
character.
His character's name
Sterling,
is
yes.
Sterling in Leverage.
Yes, and he puts on quite the sterling performance.
He does indeed. I enjoy him so much.
Uh-huh.
So much.
And they're talking, back to the show, Allison and Elliot are talking about their impending wedding, and Allison's feeling like something's about to happen bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
She
It's
doesn't
so
want anything bad to happen.
They've been waiting so many years, this very young couple.
Well, you know...
He looks older than her.
I have so many things to say about this episode, but we'll get there. So he says they should just elope, and she's
like your mother would
allow
let that fly.
Yeah, and then they have this bad stage kiss.
Yeah,
because
and then look,
speak of the devil, Elliot's mom shows up.
Mama Spencer, as I call her.
Yeah, and like she's weird. I enjoy her outfits. Like we have,
oh my god, her outfits are always on point.
Yeah, her outfits are really cool. Like you have, Allison in like a blue hoodie and pants, and Elliot in like a plaid shirt and whatever, and then you have Mrs. Spencer in like this white Chinese collar jacket thing with a really intricate pattern and this like white skirt that matches.
Clearly,
so
a rich lady.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Like, this woman's got money, and you can tell it in what she wears.
Oh, yeah, which is why she's not going to allow them to elope. But she comes up to them, asking about the marriage certificate, and have they gotten it yet? And
they
at this
say
point,
no.
See, Allison, 5 seconds ago, was like, I'm so worried. And then Mom comes up, and she's like, oh, don't worry. We're going to get it tomorrow. Like, suddenly, not worried.
Yep. But we're going to get it tomorrow... before the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Like, what?
Yep.
I'm very confused as to the entirety of the timing of this show, this episode.
Yeah.
And, I don't... Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty much. But then Mom starts freaking out, saying you have to. It won't be legal without it.
Which is perfectly... respectable.
Yes.
It's perfectly logical.
She is, however, suspiciously urgent.
Yeah. But I understand that logic of it won't be legal without it, because it's true. Without a marriage license, you can't get married. I mean, that makes perfect sense. But can I just say that she's basically like, well, why don't you go today? And Elliot says, why are you so bent about this? What kind of question is that? What... That phrase is just weird.
Yep.
Why are you so bent about it?
It's not just bent, it's supposed to be bent out of shape.
Yeah. And then, Mom doesn't answer, but Allison notices someone. It's like, who's that? And we see a blonde woman off in the distance who is wearing a brown skirt, which is a pretty nice skirt, and a brown, furry leopard print jacket.
Yep.
And carrying a leopard print purse.
And her hairstyle is done in such a way as to get her just one step closer to looking like a cone head.
Yeah, it was a bit...
the way it swoops out and then curls under...
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Whoa.
It was a little weird. So we find out that this is someone that Mom hasn't seen for a long time.
And seems very perturbed to see now.
Yeah. She walks over to the woman in brown, And then we have a quick cutback of Elliot and Allison kissing because gotta remember they're in love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently we find out that this woman and Elliot's mom have a pact. And
oh my god. Like, really, really bad exposition right here.
yeah. Did you forget our pact? No, that was
No
hoping
one
you
fucking
had.
calls it a pact.
Well, you know, apparently they did in 1998.
You can't see me, but I'm rolling my eyes so hard. Oh my god.
Yep. So we learn that the woman in brown is named Jade because, you know, why not? And that she apparently hasn't aged a day in 20 years.
Yeah.
So, okay.
To which Jade's reply is, well, you could have chosen eternal youth instead of money and power.
Yeah. And we learned that now...
When they're saying that, sounds to me like they were involved in a pact in which each of them got to choose something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which turns out to not be the case.
Well, yeah. Who knows? Like I said, I have so many things about this episode. But we learned that Elliot's mother's name is Grace.
Yes.
So there's that. So now we have a name. Like, okay,
I'm still
fine.
calling her Mama Spencer.
You do that. And then we get Jade's assistant, apparently,
Yes.
walking in. And Jade tells her to have the butler show you to our rooms, in case you didn't realize that they were rich, you know. And the assistant leaves to go do that. And then Grace is like, you can't move in, people will be suspicious.
She says this in a very interesting tone
Uh-huh.
that definitely everyone within earshot will be hearing.
Yeah. And then, you know, it's the, well, what would I say? And Jade's like, say the truth. Which it wouldn't be the truth, but
No.
whatever. You know, say your son's had a change of heart. And so apparently the deal was that, you know, Elliot would be with Jade. And then Jade, you know, casts some sort of something on Elliot, raises her hand, and he falls to the ground unresponsive, and Allison is screaming, and Mama is looking on like doing nothing.
Yep.
Like, okay. But in my notes is like, laying on the ground, he looks a little bit like Leo.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny. But I think that's mostly because his wrinkles, like his facial wrinkles, just kind of softened a little. He looked a little bit like Leo. It was kind of funny. But I have so many questions.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That was the note I wrote down. Because when she holds her hand out and she flicks it upward, I just wrote down, snap!
Yeah. Because she does. She kind of like flicks her hand.
Yeah, and this like, his legs go through an opacity shift.
Yeah. Yep. And he just falls to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Unresponsive.
Yes, and then Allison just screamed her fucking head off.
Yeah, but see, like, again,
And not helpful screaming like, someone get help. It's just like,
yeah, it's not even like call 911, it's just, yeah. It's obnoxious,
Oh,
is what
dear.
it is. And we're supposed to like her.
Yeah.
And yet.
Well, I
So
mean, I
then-
have pity from her from other things I've seen her in.
Well,
But that's not exactly liking her, that's just pitying her.
yeah. And pity and liking someone are not the same thing.
Nope.
Nope. And then we cut to the manor with a lovely little line of 1 week later, which
No.
is apparently because, oh god,
Yep.
this episode. So, but now we get the B storyline that just, I can't even.
And this is, okay,
Again,
this
this one,
doesn't fit in right. So Piper is in the bathroom,
and she's apparently been in there for a while, and Prue's pounded on the door.
and we can see she's got a pregnancy test.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some great parallel jokes in here.
Yeah.
Where, you know, like, how long are you going to be there? Oh, a minute or two. Are you positive?
I hope not. Yeah. Like, I cannot be late today. I know the feeling. Yeah, that was cute. Like, that was a cute little back and forth.
And that happens throughout the episode with this.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's some cute joke writing. I like it.
Yeah.
But all the other dialogue in this episode can go suck itself.
Yeah, oh my god, this entire episode. If you can't tell, and I know we're just a couple minutes in and we haven't gotten to the rating yet, but in case you didn't know, I hate this episode.
Yeah.
With a red hot burning passion, I hate this episode.
Yep.
It is my least favorite, absolute least favorite.
I could barely take notes for this. I have fewer notes for this than I have for most everything else.
And you know what's really funny is I actually have more notes for this than anything else.
Well, also, like, I had to stop this and restart it because I was falling asleep Because now my computer is, like, living on the little, like, bed and breakfast lap table thingy that's on my bed.
Yeah, I think, like, you took fewer notes and I took more notes because I was, like, just so frustrated that I'm like, I'm just going to write down everything. You know, like, because I tried to take notes your way.
I couldn't give two shits about half of it.
Yeah, I truly, truly hate this episode. But we're still going to talk about it because that's what we do.
Yep.
That's what we're here for.
Isn't it, puppy?
Yeah.
He's boo-boo-boo?
Yeah, he doesn't care. So, what I thought was very funny, though, is they show us an insert of the box, and the actual name of the pregnancy test, like, company, whatever, has just been blocked out. Which I thought was very funny.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, I thought it was very funny, because it was white. Like, they didn't, like, black it out. It was just whited out.
Oh, wow.
But this just shows I go to Walgreens and CVS, like, way too often. Because of the typeface on the one-step pregnancy, whatever, I think it is the Preferred brand. Yeah. Like, the name of the brand is Preferred, which was bought out by, like, CVS or Walgreens, one of those two.
Yeah.
But I just think it's very funny. They're like, it was whited out, so you couldn't see the name of the pregnancy test. And I just, like, okay. Exactly.
Yes, is that okay, Blue?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Exactly. But yeah, so we get the cute little back and forth from Prue and Piper. And then Piper just tells Prue to use the downstairs bathroom. And Prue's like, all my stuff is up here. Well,
just
all my stuff is down. Yeah, all my stuff is downstairs.
And Prue very rarely starts to ask, well, wouldn't you just go downstairs then where all of your stuff is?
Yeah. Like, never mind. You know, like, okay, fine, whatever.
She decides she's going to be late. She might as well stop arguing and go take a shower.
Exactly.
And at which point, Phoebe comes up, knocks on the door, be like, hey, when you get out of there?
Yeah. And then, again, we have a funny moment. So we have Piper throwing the box for the pregnancy test in the trash, making no attempt to hide it in any way at all whatsoever.
Nope.
Just putting that out there. And Phoebe comes up asking if there's any hot water left. And we have this lovely little moment of, you know, am I in for a cold shower, yes or no? And Piper's like, at certain times in our life, a cold shower is probably a good thing. As Phoebe's walking into the bathroom, just, not 3 mornings in a row, it isn't. It's like, okay, you know, it's a cute little moment. And then I love that we have, you know, Piper leaves, Phoebe goes in the bathroom, and we have a POV from the trash can, which I just think was very funny.
The trash can wants you to know that it's watching you.
Yeah. And Phoebe starts brushing her teeth and near immediately sees the box in the trash. And she picks it up. And
with both hands.
With both hands. Yeah, you know.
And has a super creepy vision
of a demon baby being born. And this is the first time we see color in her vision.
Yeah.
Because the demon baby is like red, pink, something.
Yeah, it's supposed to be some kind of red.
Yeah. And then we have the opening credits. And Alyssa Milano in the opening credits is no longer listed at the end.
Huh.
She is now listed third behind Shannon Doherty and Holly Marie Combs. However, she still gets "and," which is technically like second top billing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Like she still has that little thing. And then after the opening credits, we have lovely establishing shots of San Francisco.
Okay, I don't think the song I got on Netflix is the original
probably
song.
Not. Probably not.
I'm just going to assume it never is.
Yeah.
Anymore because I guess they lost all of the rights to them.
Yeah, I don't remember what the song actually was because I didn't bother writing it down. But
yeah. And we get, is this where we get the true streetcars but no rice-a-roni?
Yeah. We get the bridge, the skyline, Pier 39, Chinatown, and then streetcars. And there's 2 of them. And
passing
I thought it was
each other.
Yeah, they're passing each other, which happens. So I'm totally adding 2 to the total. So now we're at 6 for the season.
Yay!
Which is kind of awesome. But
we're also in episode 6.
We are indeed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. But I thought it was very funny because one of the ads on the streetcar in front was actually for Toshiba Portable CD.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
The best sound next to Carnegie Hall. Which I was laughing going...
Portable CD.
But I was just laughing going, why is it next to Carnegie Hall? Because I'm me, and I thought it was funny. And then we get this, like, wobbly overhead shot of the city, and I'm like, was the helicopter drunk? Like, why is it wobbly? Like, I just don't get
Drunk on power.
Yeah, I just don't get it. But, okay, so when I first tried to do this. I tried to take notes your way.
Okay.
I tried to just watch the episode and take quick notes, and it did not work out.
No.
Because my brain just doesn't work that way. But so as I was going back, and I was reading my notes as I was rewatching and writing new notes, I left this one. As we cut into the manor, and we have Piper is making much tiny food in kitchen.
It was pretty, too.
I was like, yeah, it was like little fish or something. Like,
Yeah.
it looked like little fish.
Yeah, little puff pastry shit.
Yeah, it was kind of cute. But I just thought it was making much tiny food in kitchen. I was like, alright, I can deal with that as a note. That's kind of cute. So, Piper's making her much tiny food, wearing a white shirt, black pants, and then a red checkered apron.
I
like
I
the
swear that
apron.
apron stays around for a while.
It might. It's a cute apron, though. I like it.
Yeah.
And then Prue walks in and grabs something from the fridge. And she's wearing a leather jacket over what looks like an olive green dress, I think.
Could be.
But there's like a slit
Kinda
up the front.
Olive drab.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
But there's like this big slit up the front because Prue apparently cannot wear a skirt without a slit in it.
Nope.
Yeah.
She's a slit slut.
Oh, Jesus. Hashtag slit slut. No, don't. Please don't.
No. I'm joking.
Yes. I might cut that out just because.
No.
We'll see.
I made it because of the one letter difference.
Yes.
I can't ignore that.
Yes. You are all about a pun or a good joke. I know. Look at me laughing. Ha ha ha. Do you remember that Hank Green video where he tried to get people to laugh without smiling or whatever it was? And like nobody could do it? I'm like, well, it's because you're actually trying to laugh.
Yeah.
Like if you just go ha ha ha, like you can totally do that. But if you're actually trying to laugh, it is impossible to laugh without smiling.
Well, now I'm trying and it just does.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Once you think about it, it's really difficult. But you know, all you have to
Yeah.
do, all has to happen is someone has to tell a really fucking bad pun.
Yeah.
You're on top of the world. Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so the phone rings, Pepper answers it, and Prue is pouring herself some coffee. And Prue mentions they need to figure out a morning schedule because,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's 2 showers and 1
3 of
boiler
them. Yeah,
and 3 of them.
exactly.
1, 2, 3. 1 boiler, 2 showers, 3 girls.
Yep. And that math just does not work.
Nope. Yeah,
Does
we
not
had to install a 2nd boiler to keep up.
Yeah. It's just,
Actually, we might have 3 of them. They're behind those doors.
Alright. But yeah, so Piper says she's going to be sick, and Prue asks which bathroom she's going to use
Upstairs
to be
or
sick.
downstairs.
Which was kind of cute, kind of funny.
Well, she's just super preoccupied.
Yeah. And then Piper's like, maybe Phoebe can help me cater the Elliot Spencer wedding. And I still thought of Leverage again. I'm like, God damn it.
Why would she call it the Elliot Spencer wedding? Wouldn't she call it by the last names of the bride and groom?
Yeah, I don't know. Because
that's why I was confused, and I thought it might be 2 different characters.
yeah, no.
Because I thought, one's named Elliot and the other's named Spencer.
Nope.
But no, it was all his name.
Yep. I'm suspecting that it's because Elliot's mother is paying for it all.
Well, yes, but then you
That
just
it's
call it the
his
Spencer
wedding.
wedding.
Well, yeah, you'd think so, but, maybe they wanted to shout out to Leverage that I don't think existed yet.
Yeah.
Leverage did not exist in 1998, but
Nope.
it has existed now, and I love it, and it's my favorite, and I podcast.
Yeah.
Will happen. It's gonna happen. Gonna. Now that we have really good microphones,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna happen. But yeah, so we learned that the wedding is the next day, and that apparently Chef Moore was the one who was hired to do the job, and he's on his way to France.
Yeah.
So again, if this had been the 2nd episode, it would make sense that she was working for Chef Moore. But the way that they aired the episodes, episode 2, Chef Moore, he of the phony accents,
Had
quit.
gone to make his own restaurant.
Yeah, he quit Quake. So
Well, it didn't say he'd swanned off to France.
no,
It
but
just
it
said
says
he went
he
to
quit.
go open his own restaurant. So it's not a super continuity error. It's just
Well, but it said no, because
Well,
in
I mean,
episode
it's-
2 it said he quit
It said
to
he
go
quit,
do
yeah.
So, the
But I
fact
mean, that doesn't necessarily mean he would have quit such a high-profile catering job.
maybe.
I mean,
but
I think it's still possible.
I-
But yeah, it makes a lot more sense if they had aired them the way they originally shot them.
yeah. But so she says that technically the contract is with Quake, And so he's off the hook and I'm on the line, which was an interesting way of saying
For
that.
someone making little puff pastry fishes, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of cute. And we learned that the Spencers are one of the richest families in the city, because duh.
Yeah.
You know. And Prue's like, Brightside, who else can they hire in 24 hours? Which,
Yeah.
you know, is true. Very true. Phoebe walks in wearing a green top this time, tucked into her jeans. Swear to God, this tucked into jeans thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait
She's
till the
back to
90s are over.
The nice curly hair.
Yeah. And we get a little back and forth where Phoebe thinks they're talking about Piper being pregnant.
This could have been a lot more sitcom-y. I'm
Yeah.
glad it wasn't.
Yeah. And then, you know, Prue and Piper knowing that they're talking about the wedding thing. And this is, again, where because this was filmed like as an earlier episode, but then they aired it later, Phoebe apparently doesn't have a job because Piper's like, $10 an hour, and she's like, oh, sold, you know? That's the other thing. Do we ever see her being a psychic at the hotel again? Because I don't remember that coming back ever.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think we see Phoebe have a job for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think she might have kind of a freelance thing going on later, but I don't remember. Yeah, but for once, Phoebe's like being mature and talking to Piper, like about what she thinks it is, and Jeremy and his aftermath. And then for some reason, the line "you had sex with him" is 80 yard.
Well, I think that might have been like an added line. Like they didn't have it at the time, and they're
Yeah, because it wasn't on
kind
Phoebe at the time.
Exactly.
It was on. It was the camera was on Piper.
Yeah. Though I do like the little line from Piper of "wedding yes, warlocks no."
Yeah.
And then, you know, she's like, "Am I clear?" And Phoebe nods, and it's like, you know, good, because there's nothing in me that wants anything to do with Jeremy ever again. Now, at this moment, then wouldn't you think that Phoebe would be like, "Oh, she took the pregnancy test and it was negative"?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing in me that wants anything to do with him, which means she's not pregnant. Because that's where I went with that.
Yep.
Of, okay, then she's not pregnant. Because she took the test, you'd think she'd know. Just saying.
Phoebe draws her own conclusions.
She really does. She really, really does. But then Piper walks out, and Phoebe goes to grab something off the tray, and from the other room, Piper's like, "Don't touch that!" Which was really funny. Like, that I loved.
#CSM.
Absolutely.
Your sister moment.
Yeah. And then we get an establishing shot of Coit Tower. I've been there. The trees were way bigger when I was there.
Coit Tower?
Yeah, the little tower, the little white tower on the hill. It's called Coit Tower. COIT.
Don't know it.
But I just thought it was funny. The establishing shot has like a bird that's moving and like staying in the middle of the frame because the camera's moving too. I was like, okay. And then we get, you know, the shot of the venue, which was totally taken in a moving car because once again, wobbly drunkenness. Like, I do not understand it. But Piper drives up in the Jeep, and we get an insert shot of the security panel.
Yep.
And Piper's there, you know, saying she's there to cater the wedding, but they were expecting Chef Moore. And she comes back with, "I've got ice sculptures melting over wedding cake."
I need to get in now.
Yep. Which was a funny, like, imagery.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't remember seeing ice sculptures at all, but it was funny.
A real good way to get someone to let you in that may not want to.
Yeah.
Which, granted, she is working there, so... But, you know, you could have just... She didn't have to say there's been a change. She could have said something like, "I know he was my boss," or like, I know I'm his assistant," or something.
She could have, but she didn't, because, you know, that's how it was written.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good excuse to get inside.
Absolutely.
At which point, they take that and they're like, "Someone will be with you right now."
Yeah.
So I guess originally the intent would be to like interview her and see if she's legit.
Yeah.
At which point, guy comes up to her passenger window and is like, "I need to get into the compound."
Not just any guy. A priest.
Oh yeah, a priest.
Yeah.
And granted, you already have the shot of the guards walking towards the car from the front door.
Yeah, like the gate is
So
opening.
they can definitely see the priest.
Yeah, like I don't understand. But they start manhandling the priest, and then Piper goes with, "Easy on the padre, buddy," which I thought was very funny.
Yep.
It was a funny line.
Yeah. Piper slowly gets a little more, like, sass in her lines.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is indicative of a later Piper. This is very typical of, you know, the attitude she would have to people who are behaving badly.
Yeah, which is funny because this was like the second episode. This was supposed to be the second episode. So, I mean, it kind of works.
Yep.
But, so we learn his name is Father Trask. And then he yells she is the bearer of the demon child.
Super casual thing to yell.
Yeah, beware Hecate. And that's how he says it, Hecate.
Yeah.
Which, they do not keep calling her Hecate, because later on she's Hecate.
Yeah.
And it should actually be not either of those.
What is it exactly?
I believe it should be Hecate, that the first syllable gets it.
Okay. Certainly.
But
and
that's
certainly not Hecate.
Yeah, no, not Hecate. Nope. Nope. So Piper takes a mental note of beware and drives in. And we cut to Buckland. And apparently we are looking at a Lhasa warrior fertility goddess statue.
Yep.
Which is very rare and very powerful.
Very raw.
Very rare. Very rare and very powerful.
The mere presence could help a woman conceive.
Yeah. And Hannah's like, you take it. My biological clock's not the one that's ticking. The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Especially since, then Buckland walks in.
Yeah.
And says, oh, sorry, it's unavailable. Admonishes Hannah for having Prue catalog it. Mm-hmm. Which means Hannah had Prue catalog it just to make that comment.
Yeah, probably.
The fuck?
Yeah, absolutely. Though I did like the funny moment of Rex walking in and, Prue, your sister's here to see you. She's waiting in your office. And Prue asks, which sister? And he goes, the one who, upon seeing your office, said, damn, I should go back to college. She goes, Phoebe.
Yeah.
For once her timing is
the
good.
delivery,
Like, right.
the delivery for that was a little weird for me.
And see, it
was
okay.
good lines. It was good lines. It was just like the delivery of that wasn't snappy enough for me.
I don't know. I think it worked out pretty okay. But yeah, so Rex is like, blah, 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 to Hannah, you know, why did you do that, blah, blah, blah. You know who we acquired this for, which automatically lets us know that they have set it for somebody.
Yeah.
And then Hannah says that Prue's sister is catering the wedding, but Prue won't be there. So now we know that it's for this wedding. And we're going, okay, why would Allison and Elliot need some fertility statue? But all right. And then remembering, oh wait, it's Jade now.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so now we really know that Jade is a bad guy.
Yep.
Not like we didn't already. But it also hints much more to Rex and Hannah being bad guys. So there's that. And then we get a lovely insert of the statue again.
Yep.
And we cut to Phoebe in Prue's office, wearing her white button-up shirt, black dress pants, and these black, clunky, like, chunky shoes that I swear to God I owned a pair of those.
Yep.
Because, totally. Prue walks in, and we can now see that underneath the leather jacket that Prue was wearing earlier, she has this, like, black, like, cami top with, like, a see-through shirt, like a black button-up see-through shirt over top of it. Like, how is that work appropriate? I still do not understand how Prue gets away with wearing that kind of stuff.
I don't know.
It's not office appropriate at all.
Yeah.
But whatever. So Phoebe was on the phone. Who knows who she was talking to? We don't find out. She hangs up the phone.
She was probably making a joke called a room service or something.
Yeah.
Like, there is no room service, but she would...
Yeah, like a jokey whatever of, I gotta go, kind of whatever, talking on the phone and in the office. And Phoebe says that she noticed that Prue had drawn up a shower schedule and that she's last on the list. To which, again, if this had been the second episode, it's like, well, let's see. Piper has a job and I have a job. You have no job. Why do you need to shower? Like, I totally get where that was going.
She doesn't need to shower that early in the morning.
Yeah, like, I get where it was going.
Wait another hour and then get some more hot water.
Yeah. But Prue deflects and asks Phoebe why she's there. They have a little moment and she goes, you've got 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Like, you got 5 minutes, go. Alright. So Phoebe mentions that she had a vision about something being born. She goes, so I started to think back 6-8 weeks ago, and Prue cuts in of, oh my god, you're pregnant. It's like, what?
No.
And then Prue's like, well, that's why you came back from New York, isn't it? And it's like, this scene right here
would have made
so much more sense had it been the second episode.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she's like, I wouldn't, you know, I'm not surprised you'd say that. You think I'm irresponsible, and the black sheet of the dark cloud, like, all of this stuff. They're like, we've gotten past this by now. By episode 6, we should have gotten past this. But by episode 2, we wouldn't have. So it makes sense for episode 2. However, not so much. Though I will totally say that if this had been the second episode, there's no way I would have kept watching the show.
Yeah.
None. Especially with last week's episode would have been the third episode, had they actually aired them in the order that they were shot to be aired, and then, yeah, it wouldn't have... Nope. Because I give things 3 episodes, and those 3 episodes would not have let me keep going.
No.
Nope, not so much. But whatever. Prue starts questioning Phoebe, and Phoebe's like, I still have 2 more minutes. I'm like, I'm sorry, this conversation has not taken 3 minutes.
Yeah, you have more than 2 minutes, girl.
Yeah, like the timing in this show. It's like the 5 minutes, 10 minutes from the pilot, you know? Like, what the heck is happening? And then Phoebe's like, FYI, you have another sister who has had sex. Which, you know...
This is the first evidence we've seen of Piper having sex. She doesn't talk about it.
Well, no, of course not.
She doesn't hint at it at all.
But, you know, like, she was with Jeremy, and we did get that she gets turned on by the talk of food, so you know they were having sex. I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
But still, I mean, you don't assume. They were together 6 months, but it's still like...
Yeah.
Were they? Because Piper's uptight enough, you'd believe it if they didn't.
Well, I guess so, but...
She's very reserved.
Yeah.
I would very easily believe that.
I guess so. And then Phoebe says, that it was Piper in her vision having the demon child.
Thebes, your vision was super vague.
Yeah. It was it was
saw legs.
It was just the legs. But I'm assuming that she thinks that it's Piper because she picked up the pregnancy test.
Mm.
And so the vision came from Piper's pregnancy test, so it would make sense that she would automatically assume it. I give her the benefit of the doubt there. But once again, we have that little, if you won't believe me, you can believe my power. Like if this was the second episode, then maybe I would believe it.
Yeah.
That they were, all bitchy again. But, this is the 6th episode now.
Yeah.
So not so much. Whatever. Exactly. So we cut back to the Spencer estate, which in my notes I just kept writing as the venue. Because it was just easier. And now Grace is wearing, a purple tailored jacket.
Yeah.
With a lighter colored collar
satin.
And
it was satin. Wasn't
yeah,
it?
I don't know.
It
was really pretty.
Classy.
Yeah,
it had is one classy broad.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Even though she makes packs with the devil.
Well, But yeah, so apparently Allison has come by again, and she's telling Allison she has to stop calling. And Allison, who looks like she's wearing the same pink shirt with the torso line detail that Phoebe was wearing in the last episode.
I mean, it's got to be a different size, though, because no way they're the same size.
Well, no, but the sisters aren't the same size, and they supposedly wear their clothes. So, whatever. But it's literally the same shirt that she was wearing in the last episode.
Yep.
What? What?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They thought no one would notice.
But we did.
We always do.
Yeah.
Especially on that weird of an outfit. Even going week to week, that stands out.
Yeah, it really does. With torso lines and shit. But, so Grace deflects, but Allison says she isn't leaving without an answer and asks who Jade is. And Grace says that Jade's an old acquaintance of the family, but Allison doesn't believe her because Elliot would have told her.
Maybe Elliot doesn't know.
Yeah. And Grace says there's lots of stuff about the family that Allison will never know. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
but, so Allison wants to hear...
Now taking the antagonistic side that she clearly wasn't showing before.
Yeah. But Allison wants to hear from Elliot himself that he's going to marry someone else. And Grace is just like, it's over. Elliot doesn't love you anymore. And Allison wants to know how she can say that. And Grace is like, I'm sorry, but Elliot's going to marry Jade Dimone. Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Now, the Netflix captions spell it as D''MON.
Yep. Demon.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a little on the nose.
Little bit.
Just a little.
Teeny tiny.
Yep.
On the nose. Jade Dimone. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, though this episode, when I was taking notes, I got sidetracked and I was just watching it. I just decided, you know what? I'm too tired to take notes right now. I'm just going to watch it and go back tomorrow and take my notes then. And so I was watching it and seeing the sweater popped out so much that I'm like, well, I have to write this down. And I've been going for 10 minutes without taking any notes. So I just flipped a couple of pages and wrote it down. I timed it perfectly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's super funny.
Yep.
I like it. So then we cut to the kitchen of the venue.
Yeah.
And there's a man stirring something that is boiling on the stove.
It's boiling over.
Yeah. And Piper comes over and is like, that should be kept at a simmer, not a boil. I'm sorry, if it's already boiling, wouldn't it be ruined?
Not necessarily.
I don't know.
If it's something that needs to cook at a slightly lower temperature at a simmer, then starting it off at a boil would not necessarily be detrimental. Keeping it at a boil would.
Okay, fine.
But that's generally for stuff that doesn't have a lot of liquid to begin with and needs most of it to absorb. So
yeah,
there was
and
so
we have
much
no
liquid
idea.
In that pot.
Yeah, we have no idea what they were actually making in that pot.
No, but it's a good example of you just show them doing all this stuff and you think they're competent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So now she's wearing a black jacket over a white shirt with black pants because she's got to be all classy and shit.
And professional.
Yeah. And Phoebe comes in with her brown leather jacket over the top of the outfit that she was wearing earlier. And apparently, Phoebe has been gone for way longer than Piper thought she'd be gone for, because Piper expected her, like, an hour ago. I don't know. But somebody starts moving around in the background.
Yeah.
And Piper's like, wait, I've got buns in the oven! And Phoebe's like, you're not kidding. Which, again,
Nice.
like, it's funny, but, like, no. Like, she would know if she's pregnant, and she knows she's not pregnant. Knock it off. It was driving me nuts, that.
Yeah.
Just a little. Whatever. So, Phoebe tells Piper that she went to go see Prue. And Piper starts to mention that the auction house is on like the other side of town or whatever. And then stops herself and is like, wait, why were you there? Like, why did you go there? And Phoebe comes back with adding more bricks to the wall between us. Which, again, was a funny line, but would have made much more sense had this been the second episode.
Yep.
But, you know, whatever. And then a guy comes in and is like, Mrs. Spencer and Miss Damone will see you now.
And Piper is rightly confused because
Yeah,
she's seen the contract.
She's like, I thought the bride's name was Allison. Yeah. And whatever.
The butler dude cuts her off.
Yeah. Does not like to be kept waiting. Rich people. So Piper grabs her little clipboard, which is kind of adorable. And they start into the next room. And we see like a tailor or a seamstress or whatever pinning Jade's dress. And she's wearing a lovely little purple outfit. It was very nice. And the assistant chick is also there wearing some sort of dress sweater combo thing in like a shade of beige. It's kind of boring, but whatever.
Yeah.
Grace comes and says, Jade's going to be a lovely bride. And then Piper is introduced to the group by the butler dude, by the guy, whatever. Yeah. And Phoebe's like, and her sister chopped liver, which is funny. And Piper sees the dress and is like, oh, I'd recognize it anyway. It's a Shiro, right?
Jade
like,
does this innocent face, and she's like, is
it?
Yeah,
is it? See, I tried to look up Shiro, but apparently in 1998 it meant something different than it means today, because now it's like an anime thing.
It means white. It might have been a Shiro instead of Shiro.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know. You're basing this off of the captions?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, because I didn't get what she'd said the first time, so when I watched it
might be
again
on some
with Netflix.
forum somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But so,
or they might have made it up.
Very true. They absolutely could have. But now apparently it's an anime thing. So I'm not an anime person, so I don't get it. But whatever. So then Grace asks how things are in the kitchen, and we get a lovely, quick line from Piper of, right on schedule. The lobsters arrive tomorrow morning, the hors d'oeuvres are ready, Chef Moore is in France, and the puff pastries are baking.
She did not have to say Chef Moore was in France.
No, she really didn't.
She just had to mention the other three things.
Mm-hmm.
And if they brought up Chef Moore, then maybe ease them into it.
Yeah. But,
unfortunately, Chef Moore had some urgent business to deal with at home and had to fly back to France, so he's left me in charge. But I've been with it since the beginning, and I assure you, everything will be completely fine.
Yep. But, you can't have that. You can't be all nicey-nicey about it. Nope. Mm-hmm. So, they start freaking out about Chef Moore being gone. And Piper's like, I'm
I find it funny that
feeling.
Jade freaks out, because Jade got in here like a week ago.
Yeah, I don't...
She would not have no vested interest in what the food was.
Yeah, but...
She just needs the marriage and the wedding night.
Yeah, exactly. You tell him, Blue. But... yeah, I don't understand why she's all like, like I said, there are so many things. But yeah, so they're freaking out about Chef Moore being gone. Piper says she's handling the catering. And Grace comes, Charles, get me my pill. Which, what? Like...
It's a stereotypical
I guess
older
so.
rich lady thing.
I guess so, but like...
It felt very, who's the...
like the TV
Arrested
show
Development?
Dallas. I don't know, I never watched
Lucille Bluth.
Okay.
Lucille Bluth. It felt very Lucille Bluth to me.
Okay, not a clue. It's not a show I watch.
Which Lucille Bluth feels kind of like an Emily Gilmore. So.
But I couldn't see Emily Gilmore doing this.
No.
Not so much. But yeah, then Jade's like, my wedding is ruined! It's like, why is your wedding ruined? I don't understand this. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff about this episode, man. Whatever. So Piper calms her down, or tries to calm her down. And she says that while the deal was with Chef Moore, she's been involved in every step of the prep.
Since its inception.
Yeah. Then Piper comes with the, if you let me, I can guarantee you a wedding that your children and grandchildren will talk about for generations.
Oh, Piper, says Phoebe, we don't need to talk about kids just yet.
Yeah. Which, again...
Which is funny because why Phoebe's saying it to Piper. But also funny because of Jade.
Yes. It is a little funny because of Jade. Absolutely. But my annoyance with... Or not annoyance necessarily with that, but my question with that is... Do you talk about your parents' wedding? Do you talk about your grandparents' wedding? I don't think I've ever talked about my parents' or grandparents' wedding.
I've mentioned, like, I've talked about photos from the wedding that I've seen, but that's because my dad looked like Weird Al Yankovic when he got married. Like, circa early 80s.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's super funny.
Which is extra funny because he got married in 1971, so he was pre-Weird Al. Weird Al.
There you go. It happens. But yeah, so they're putting on the pregnancy kids thing a bit thick for me. And then Phoebe goes on this whole little rant of they should be grateful that Piper's their chef and puts love and tender care into her cooking.
She starts it off so great. You don't know me. Hell, I barely know me.
Yeah.
It sounds like a speech I would have made at like 17.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. It was kind of cute. It was definitely very Phoebe.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. But then she's all, blah, blah, blah. That, she puts the love and tender care in her cooking, and you should be lucky, feel lucky, blah, blah, blah.
You should be grateful. Chef Moore
bagged out. Yeah, I don't know what that... Bagged out. I don't get it.
It sounds like a combination of begged off and bowed out.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. It was a very weird turn of phrase, but the little moment of Jade being like, if there's even the slightest hitch, I'll have your head. And Phoebe does this, like, hands on hips gesture, and
like,
Piper has this,
what?
and Piper has this, like, little oh no face, which is kind of adorable. And then Jade just kind of, kidding. Like, I want to punch you in your fucking face.
Yep. Where clearly she's just putting on a human show.
Yeah, absolutely. And
she's learned this is what bridezillas are.
Yeah, and I totally get that they're doing it that way, and it makes sense in that respect, but it's still annoying.
Yep.
So then Mrs. Spencer is like, oh, it's all settled. But Piper's like, wait, I need to confirm the party trays for the bachelor and bachelorette parties tonight. Who makes their bachelorette and bachelor parties the night before their wedding? Like, why? That is the stupidest fucking thing. But, whatever. TV land, a la convenience crazy, whatever. Fine.
See, I always thought that was the convention. You have it the night before.
No, no.
But I don't do crazy parties, so...
No, I know many people who have gotten married, and every single one of them, their bachelor party or their bachelorette party is at least 3 days before. Because if you get hungover at your bachelor party or your bachelorette party, you want a day to recover. If you're outside playing sports or whatever, you want a day to deal with the sunburn that you just got before you try and cover it with makeup for your wedding. Like, there's, a lot of things where you don't want your party to be the night before.
Very true.
So, yeah. Anyway, so Piper wants to know what kind of deli sandwiches are needed for the bachelor party. And Jade's like, whatever you pick is fine.
Picks a weird time to just go, I don't care.
Yeah. And then...
Freaked out about Chef Moore not being there. But it's like,
but you can pick whatever.
Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. But Grace is like, her son can pick out his own food. And then Jade's like, well, let's all ask him together. Like, you were just perfectly fine with her picking whatever she wants. But now if you're going to ask the dude, now we need to be there. Okay. So yeah, so for some reason Jade's like, well, I'll ask him together. Which I don't understand, but...
Nope.
There's a lot in this episode that just I don't get. I don't understand why.
It doesn't make sense from a writing point of view.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense from a story point of view, and it doesn't make sense From a human point of view.
Yeah. But anyway, so Phoebe's like, I thought it was bad luck to see the bride before that. And then Piper pinches her arm.
Yeah.
I was like, why? Okay. Whatever, fine.
Well, Piper knows. You don't question the bride.
Yeah, well... Anyway, so now, Jade is back up on the pedestal for the seamstress tailor chick. And she steps backwards. And the seamstress chick, like, sticks her with a needle. There's no blood. She makes no sound. There's no nothing. And she just kind of stops. Like, what the fuck? Like, I would totally be like that. Yeah. And Jade's like, is there a problem? She's like, no, I'm finished. And then Jade turns into bitch mode again of, then go. Like, make up your mind. Are you bitchy or are you not bitchy? Like, knock it off. I don't know, whatever. But I just love the little acting choice from our little seamstress. She grabs her, like, pins and stuff and just hightails it out of the room. Yeah. Just, okay, got my stuff and let's go. It's very funny. And then we cut outside of the venue, and there's a guy in a suit standing in the grass. And we learn his name is Derek because someone yells for him. He's beckoned over by the two guys that we saw with Piper earlier. And apparently, Father Trask has escaped their grasp. Okay. And Derek tucks into, like, the little walkie-talkie and is like, all sectors, code 3, Father Trask is on the grounds, find him. Which makes me laugh, like, why do they know that Father Trask is coming? Has he tried to kill her before? Is, like, we have no real backstory for why they know who Father Trask is.
I feel like
they were
he
expecting
probably
him.
showed up on the grounds before, but's never managed to get in yet, has just been snooping around.
Maybe, I don't know. But, like, if he was really trying to be, like, sneaky about it, he would have been like, let me officiate your wedding, and then he would have been invited in, and then,
Yeah.
But he wasn't really trying to be sneaky at all.
Nope.
But whatever. So they go rushing off, whatever, dudes in suits go rushing off. And
only to zoom in on the truck.
Well, yeah.
The contents of this party truck, where he has somehow managed to insinuate himself behind a bunch of boxes without any of the workers noticing?
Yeah, well, if he got into the truck, because there's people in blue windbreakers, they're, like, putting out the chairs and stuff like that, so they're in and out of that truck. So if he happened to hop into that truck when they weren't around, I can kind of see it, like, I kind of understand it, but whatever. The point that I have with this one, right, is so he's in the back of the truck, he takes off his robe, which luckily he has, like, a shirt on underneath it.
Yeah.
And he grabs a blue windbreaker and puts that on. And then, from on top of where the chairs were, you tell him, Blue, from on top of where the chairs were,
that clearly he didn't pull out of his robes.
Yeah, like, all of a sudden,
picks up a
it's just
poignard.
there. Yeah, I didn't even know.
A dagger.
Yeah, it's basically just a dagger or a knife. I will never remember the word poignard.
Mm-hmm. But you'll remember the word poignard, right?
Nope.
Because sometimes you're hoisted by your own.
Petard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this case, you're hoisted by your own poignard.
I don't want to be hoisted by that. That seems pointy.
Yep.
But, yeah, so he has this, like, the dagger poignard thing, which is in a sheath and has some, like, gems on the hilt. And he puts it in
down
the front of his
of
pants.
his pants. That's super comfy.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else in your pants that would need that space.
Well,
He's not that kind of a priest.
But
He's
at
not
least
a
it was sheathed.
castrato.
At least it was sheathed.
Yeah.
At least it was sheathed.
Sorry.
The dagger.
I know.
Yeah.
He sheathes his dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, before putting it in his pants.
So he covers it with the jacket, leaves the truck, and walks away. And then we cut to Allison, who has now paired a black skirt with the pink top, because I don't think she had a black skirt with it before.
Nope.
I could have sworn she was wearing pants with the top before.
Because she was.
So, there's that. Now she's got a skirt on. Okay, fine. She's sneaking in to see Elliot, who is holding a honeymoon magazine.
Perfectly level, too.
Yeah. Just laying on the bed. And now he's in a brown striped collared shirt. Because, why not? But he's laying on the bed just kind of staring at this magazine. Still, like, dazed, whatever. She tries to tell Elliot that he can't go through with the wedding, that Jade doesn't love him, that she barely knows him, blah, blah, blah. And, a la convenience, Jade comes in at that moment with Grace and the assistant chick. Kirsten, yeah, but we don't know her name yet. We don't learn her name until a bit later.
Yeah.
So I just kept calling her the assistant
like another
chick.
5 minutes or so.
Yeah, something like that. In fact, not nearly, The Netflix captions gave her a name
Yeah.
when she talked.
No, Grace called her by name.
Right, but not yet. I'm saying when the assistant chick talked, Netflix captions gave her name. Which is the only reason I knew her name.
Cool. Whatevsies.
But yeah, so Jade and Grace and the assistant chick come in and interrupt Allison. And Jade's like, well, if it isn't Allison. And at the mention of Allison's name, Elliot seems to perk up.
Yeah.
And he's like reaching out for her and this whole like
out
thing.
Of his fog, just a little.
Yeah. Jade says to call security, and Allison's like, don't bother, I'm leaving. And
So naturally, Kirsten decides to manhandle her down the stairs.
Absolutely, as you do, right? And of course, Grace goes with them because you gotta leave Jade alone with Elliot. And then an alarm goes off, and we see Piper and Phoebe running down the hall to find out what happens. And 3 men in blue windbreakers come walking in. And
one of whom is Father Trask.
And Piper recognizes him.
Yeah. She's like, hey, that's the priest.
Yeah.
In full earshot of a lot of people.
Yep.
And then we get this lovely intersection of several things. You have the priest
going in
Piper
one
and
direction.
Phoebe, and you have Allison being dragged by Kirsten, and then out from the bedroom pops Elliot.
Yep. For some reason.
To the railing, and Allison yells back at him, it's not too late!
Yeah, remember what I said? And he's yelling, don't hurt Allison! And then, he gets pulled back into the room by Jade because...
Yes, very forcefully.
Yeah.
And then Piper notices Father Trask is heading up the stairs
with
an
the dagger
unsheathed dagger.
Yeah, with the dagger out. Like, what? Why? Why?
So naturally, she runs for help.
Of course. Phoebe and Piper take off running, but at this point we're not sure where they're going because they just take off running. And then Jade is standing looking out the closed window when the priest comes in, and he's brandishing the weapon. And she turns around and calls him by name, so she definitely knows who he is.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's tried to do this before, whatever. Maybe he tried to attack her 20 years ago. Who knows, right? So he's holding the dagger like an upside-down cross and is like waving it in like the directions of the cross.
Yeah.
It was super awkward.
He's doing kind of like a...
Yeah, but it was like upside down.
I know, but I mean like... Most of his fingers weren't on it.
Yeah, it was super
weird. It was
blade
a little
in
like
the air.
Jeremy with the...
Yeah, it was a little like Jeremy with his pinky out. Yeah, a little bit. It was like blade in the air.
Some fancy dagger moves.
Fancy dagger moves. But it was like, he was holding the blade straight up. Like, are you not trying to stab her with this? Like, what is happening?
Well, turns out at the end, you don't need to stab him.
Yeah, well, we find that out at the end. But like, he's holding it up. Like, straight up. And I'm going, it's a dagger, dude. Like, what is happening right now?
It's a dagger. Dag her.
Nice. I like that. But yeah, so he's all like, I banish thee back to the underworld, blah, blah, blah.
Not
and she's
today, Father Trask.
She doesn't say father, she just says Trask.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which and somehow, and then up behind him pops Kirsten.
Totally green screened.
Well, totally green screened. Not only that, how'd she get up there that fast?
Because
she was
Demon?
just dragging Allison down the stairs.
A la convenience?
Yeah,
because Demon, I mean, there's a lot of reasoning. We have a little cut back and forth between Jade and Trask and whatever, and then the assistant chick turns all demon-y and then snaps
tilts his head back.
Yeah.
So obviously it snapped because don't we have some great sound effects for that?
Absolutely.
And he gets this lovely expression on his face
like, oh fuck, and then he's dead. And then it was the dispose of that or whatever, take care of that.
Yeah. And then we cut down into the kitchen where Piper and Phoebe somehow
have run to security.
Managed to find the security guards.
Yeah.
And
run to the
Piper
kitchen.
can't even manage to say what's going on. She's like, he's
upstairs with the bride. He's after the bride, right? And then we hear the sound of glass breaking. Now here, continuity error time, because we hear the sound of the glass breaking. The girls go running out with the security guy in front of them. When they're inside, Phoebe is not wearing a jacket. She doesn't have a purse. She's just got the white shirt and whatever. And they're running out the door. When they get outside, the girls are in front of the security dude, calmly walking down the stairs, and Phoebe has her jacket on and has her purse with her.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Continuity master.
Seriously.
Has clearly not mastered continuity.
So, whatever. So we find, they head down the stairs, and we find a few people are standing around the priest on the ground, the dagger's next to him.
And as the camera approaches, they conveniently part
Yes, absolutely.
the sea of legs parts for the camera, and we see Father Trask is on the ground with blood pooling beneath his head and a dagger.
He seems to have been thrown from a window.
Well, he seems to have jumped out a window,
Which-
until you start examining it closer, as later we find two very familiar inspectors are doing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but that happens in a moment. My favorite is the fact of the alarm finally turns off, of course, and we're treated to a view of the broken window. And then the camera pans down to reveal Grace looking out
Clearly
from the
regretting
floor
all
below.
of her decisions in life.
Yeah, like she's just staring out the window like, yep, that just happened. You know, like, okay. And then we have our commercial break.
Yep.
And now the police have arrived. And in the background...
And of course, because this is such a small town, the only two homicide, robbery, and apparent suicide detectives are Andy and Daryl.
Yep, absolutely.
I almost called him Dorian.
Well, that is his name. Just not his character name. You tell him, Blue. So, the police have arrived at the estate.
And it's Andy and Daryl.
Yep. And in the background, we can see them talking to Jade, and we see that she is in a lovely floral dress with a little blue sweater over top.
Yeah.
So, she has changed outfits from the wedding dress that she was in.
Well, yes, she doesn't want it to leave the house. Not until the wedding day. Which, okay, can we talk about that dress for a second?
Yes.
That neckline is so 90s.
Well.
Like the weird, kind of spaghetti strap, but super high neck.
Yeah.
Like, I swear I've seen it other places.
Probably. It's probably been in other shows in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
I am
you know.
Sweating.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw it in Parent Trap. Or something styled exactly like it.
Okay.
Which would have been weird, because that wasn't 90s.
No idea.
That was early aughts, I think. I could look it up.
I don't know.
I'm not going to now, though.
Yeah. All right. So we're with Piper and Phoebe on the stairs, and Allison is with them. And Piper hands her a tissue, and she's all thanks. And Piper says it's all kind of freaky, And Allison's all, you have no idea. Which, okay, fine. And Phoebe's like, what my sister meant to say is, what's up with you and Elliot?
Subtle as a brick, Phoebe. Subtle
Yep.
as a brick.
Absolutely. And, she's all like, you love him, blah, blah, blah. And she totally does and all that. And then she just runs away. Like, I gotta go. And Allison runs away. And you're just like, the fuck? Why, what? Yeah. And Piper thinks it's sad and they have to do something. Because they're good witches and that's their job.
And Piper's a hopeless romantic.
Yep. And then, Phoebe patting Piper on the stomach, saying, I wouldn't worry about Allison's problem just yet. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Phoebe.
Yeah,
You're a
Piper's just
goddamn
like,
jackhammer.
Yeah,
Cut
she's
it out.
Yeah, she starts being like, what the fuck? But, a cop comes down to talk to her, so she shuts up.
Yeah. And then we cut to Jade. We get a little shot of the body again.
Yeah.
Cut to Jade being questioned by Andy.
Yep. After the body gets wheeled out in a body bag on a gurney. I love that. Like, why did we need that insert? But alright. And Jade's like,
How many times do I have to go through this?
as many times as it takes for me to understand you. Which, makes
That
perfect
was a
sense.
weird line.
It makes perfect sense, though, of like, I don't get what you're trying to say, because what you're trying to say does not make sense.
Well, then what she says does make sense.
Well,
It makes a certain kind of sense. Until you examine the crime scene, it makes sense.
I guess so, but I think at this point I take Andy that he has kind of looked at where the body is and looked at where the window is, and he already knows that there's no way that what she's saying computes.
Yeah.
But whatever. So my favorite, though, is that Jade's like, he came at me with that big knife and said the most horrible things, or horrific things. Like, what did he say? Like, what is she trying to say? Like, does she ever say? No, we have no idea.
But she could literally repeat what he said, and that would be pretty horrific for someone who's, not a demon.
True. I guess so.
No, her sweater wasn't a pattern. It was like a loose knit weave crochet thing.
Yeah, but it was like a little patterny thing with the blue sweater.
Well, it was a crochet.
Oh.
It was showing the dress underneath, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the sweater was cute though. It was
adorable. She looked really, really sweet. I don't know if that's the word I want to use. More like normal, but
yeah, she looked kind
cookie
of
cutter.
Like, yeah, she looked like your stereotypical person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of
Stereotypical
person.
rich, blonde, young
Yeah.
lady.
Absolutely. So, I do like the little moment, though. She goes, yeah, he screamed, she ducked, and the next thing she knew he was dead, which, you know, you'd think the next thing you knew he'd have gone out the window. Like, it wasn't just the next thing you knew he was dead. The next thing you knew the window was broken. But, you know, maybe I'm nitpicking a little bit. And I
think you might be.
I get it, but whatever. But so she's asking if she can go because there's a million things to do before the wedding.
her tone shift after that is just like, okay,
I'm done now.
Yeah, you're done. You're done being upset over this guy
Yeah.
who's stalled plans for your wedding, and now you're gonna go be bridezilla again.
Yes. But I do think it's very funny because Andy's all, sorry the dead man in your driveway was such an inconvenience. Which was very funny.
Yeah.
And, like, perfectly poignant. It was great. And then Daryl replies, welcome to the lifestyles of the rich and shameless. Which was a play on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, which was apparently on TV from 1984 until 1995. So it hadn't been off the air for that long. It was hosted by Robin Leach, which was just, it was
Who's
a
that?
weird show. He's an old dude. He was the host of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Like, legit, there's no other thing that I know him from but that show. But what I didn't know is that NBC tried to revive the show back in, like, 2014 with Nick Cannon as the host.
Oh man.
Yeah, it didn't go anywhere that I'm aware
No.
of. But Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, like, gave rise to, like, the celebrity worship culture that we've got going now.
Yeah.
So it's all Robin Leach's fault. Just putting that out there.
Fuck the old people.
Yeah. So this is when, you know, Andy tells Daryl to look at the window and then where the body landed. And he wonders how anyone could have jumped that far. And Daryl comes back with, that's why we get paid the medium bucks.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Just listening to it, I couldn't tell if he said medium or meaty.
No, medium bucks. As
Yeah.
opposed to, like, that's why we get paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
That's why we get paid the medium bucks, to figure that out.
Yeah, okay, that's a good line.
Yeah, it was funny. And then we cut to Grace talking to the assistant, which we finally now learn her name is Kirsten.
Yeah, they're not talking. They're shouting in an echoey atrium.
On the second floor. Yeah.
We're still on the second floor.
Looking over the edge, like, I can kill you too. Yes. Grace is like, killing a priest wasn't part of the deal. And Kirsten's like, you know, keep your eyes closed and your mouth shut. In 24 hours, Jay will be pregnant and this will all be over. Okay, so now here's my question. I understand that the Hecate, whatever, needs to get married, have a baby. Got that, right? So why can't Allison be around? Like, why was it... I think my question here is more, why wasn't Jade around to begin with? Why was he allowed to fall in love with Allison if he's supposed to go with Jade? Like, I
That was
understand...
probably unplanned.
Well, yeah,
And
but,
that's
like...
why the mother was hurrying it along. Because she knows this thing is impending, but she doesn't know when.
But then why wouldn't she just let her kid get eloped? Like, why wouldn't she just be like, go elope, do it now?
They probably didn't know that would be a thing. His mother was probably, you know, like trying to fill his head with stories of, you know, pretty weddings and I'd love to plan your wedding. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I know, you know, like, rich people tend to be obsessed with having grand weddings, so, you know, maybe that rubbed off on him and he thought, oh, my mom's pregnant, want a grand wedding, and...
I guess so. I don't know, like I said, it just rubbed me a little bit the wrong way of, like, I don't understand why this is happening.
Yeah, because the comment Allison made at the beginning about, you know, having waited so long makes me think that the mom probably wasn't all that approving of their relationship at the beginning until she remembered what's about to happen and then suddenly had a change of heart and went, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I gotta get this moving. Oh, but shit, too late.
Yeah. But, like I said,
Too little, too late for mama.
Yeah, I don't... Yeah. This episode, man, just...
Yep.
It fills me with hatred, and I dislike feeling this way. So, Kirsten reminds her that they're on the second floor. She motions over the balcony of a, like, you know, I can throw you over. And then we cut back to Buckland, and Prue is sitting at her desk, tapping, tap, tap, tap on her laptop. And Rex comes in, because apparently she has to see him. And Prue asks him what she should do with the companion icon to the fertility goddess, which would be the fertility god. So we see the statue sitting on a different table with a desktop computer next to it, because gotta show off all that new technology.
Oh, yeah. All that Windows 95.
Yeah. And Rex mentioned that the client only wanted the female statue so that she could put the male one in the auction.
Which you would not sell those two separate.
No, you wouldn't, but, whatever. And then, because he wants to, gauge Prue, I guess.
Yeah.
He mentions that the female statue is a wedding gift for the Spencer bride. And Prue's like, oh, my sister's catering that. And,
Small world.
Yeah, small world.
He already fucking knew that.
Well, of course he did, because Hannah told him. But, whatever. And then he asks if the sister is Phoebe, and she's like, no, I have another sister, Piper, though Phoebe will be helping her out. And Rex questions what she's going to be doing, and Prue's like, me? I don't do weddings. Which is totally a me line. Like, I would totally be like, I don't do that shit. Like, not for me, thanks so much, though, But, Rex is like, oh, I was just wondering how close you all are. And then he drops it and leaves. And he goes into the next room, or whatever, where Hannah is, now wearing, like, a black skirt, shirt, jacket combo thing.
She wears
and
that
heels.
a lot.
She really does. Like, it's one of the only outfits
It's
she's
her
got.
signature outfit. I don't know that she ever has another outfit. Because we only ever see her in that.
I don't know. We'll find out.
She's
We've only
always
seen her
wearing,
twice.
like, a mini skirt.
Yeah.
And a jacket. And her hair's always the same. And she's always wearing those same damn shoes.
Yep.
And...
Well, no, I think she had different shoes this time, but...
Possibly.
Yeah.
But, same
because the last ones got ruined
same
with
kind
paint.
of shoes. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, ruined. Absolutely
Ruined. But
through her own fault.
But she is touching the sword of a statue in the most, like, seductive, like, caressing
and
the sword
Rex
kind of
is,
way.
like, looking at her legs.
Yeah, it was just whatever. But, so he closes the door, so she knows it's him coming in. She's like, so? In this, like, seductive way again. And he's like, that she's right, that Prue wouldn't be at the wedding. And so then Hannah wonders if they can go to the wedding, and he's like, no, it's too risky. And then we get this lovely moment of, don't pout, Hannah. I'm sure we'll think of something to do. Perhaps we can go to a football match and watch some players get injured.
Their death's evil now.
Yeah. Which, makes her smile. And then he walks over and caresses her face.
Yeah.
All right. And then we cut back to Prue, who is now taking a tag off the male statue.
Yeah.
And we get a lovely little interaction with Andy, because he shows up of... I'll come back when you're alone. She's like, no, somebody just put a sticky inventory tag on his, on the...
Artifact?
Yes, artifact. I should know that word, shouldn't I? Which was kind of cute. Like, I'm like, flustered Prue is adorable.
Yeah. Okay, this chemistry is better than the previous episode, which, it wouldn't have made sense to have this chemistry be in episode 2.
True.
Because then it would have downgraded and then upgraded.
Yeah, very true.
But also, it doesn't really make sense for them to be awkward about the whole artifact.
Yeah. But I like Flustered Prue.
Yeah.
Flustered Prue is kind of like awkward Piper. Yeah. It's just adorable.
It's so cute.
So then she asks where his, artifact is. And he pulls out a manila envelope from his back. And he's brought her the dagger, right? Mm-hmm. So she opens it, looks at it for a moment, then puts on her glasses, because gotta have those glasses. Yep. And this is where we find that it is called a poignard, and that it's exquisite and 14th century Italian.
It's not that old.
It's like,
there's
okay.
zero discoloration. There's no, aging to the blade. It's
well, because
perfect
apparently
fucking condition.
Well, that's because apparently the blade doesn't stab anything. But whatever. But yeah, so apparently there's writing on it in Latin, which I do think is funny that Andy's like, my Latin's a little rusty. Just a cute little moment.
So he tries to translate it, and she translates it. Is that actually the translation?
I have no idea. I was so fed up at this point that I did not.
Okay. Did you write down what the words were?
I didn't write down what the Latin was. No.
Okay.
Because I was so fed up with the fucking show that I didn't want to deal. Because I've been watching this hour show for 4 hours at this point, and I was done. But apparently the writing in Latin translates to, I shall not rest until the demon is vanquished, which, is a thing you write on a poignard. And then she says, let me see what else I can find. And she goes over to her laptop, where we can clearly see that the knife has already been pulled up on the screen.
Yep. How did she find it that fast?
And then
what link did she click to get to the next page?
Well, if you look at the page that comes up, there is like one of the words was like bolded, and so she clicked on the bolded word,
Yeah.
and that's where we got the next page. So I got that.
Also,
that made sense. But
she's using a Macintosh operating system.
oh, was it? I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
remember that. At least I'm fairly certain because I think I remember using that on the tiny little Macs that we had, but it's like the earliest version of a laptop for Mac, I think.
I have no idea.
Well, it's maybe not the earliest, but it's got like a huge clunky cord sticking out of like a weird area, and the operating system looks like it's very early OS, Mac OS. I don't know what version, probably like 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Mac user, so I don't know.
No, I remember playing Asteroids on something like that.
Asteroids. But yeah, this is the first and only time that we see Prue use a computer to look up a magical artifact.
Yep.
So there's that. And so the computer tells her it is a jeweled poignard of the Order of the Stephanine Cross, which is something they made up for the show. So she asked if he found it at the crime scene. She was, confused about that. And he says it was on the victim. And she says, what was on the suspect? Chainmail and a coat of armor? Which was kind of funny. But then he says it belonged to a priest.
I just went to translate into Latin, and it's a completely different thing. But, I mean, it's Google Translate, so who knows?
Well, yeah, who knows? I don't know.
I've also done this for the monologue at the beginning of Star Trek. I did it myself once, and then I got a friend who took Latin to do it, and they're slightly different. But I have one of them, written up, and it's on my wall at work.
Interesting.
I'm a nerd.
Yep. Yeah, so anyway, so he mentions that it was at the Spencer estate, and Prue said that Piper's catering the wedding there, and he then says he knows because he saw them both, but not to worry because they're okay. And that's when Prue clicks on the hyperlink in the text for the dagger, and is brought to the page for Hecate, the queen of the underworld, and the lovely 90s bandwidth makes that picture that goes with it take a moment to show up, which is kind of funny. And it's like a demon woman holding a baby. And Prue thinks it can't be a coincidence, and when Andy asks what she means by that, she deflects that she was just mumbling to herself, asks to keep the dagger or whatever to show Russell in armaments, and he says that he checked it out so that she could, research it. So she says she'll call him and leaves the office with him still sitting there.
And her laptop's still open and on
to that page. Yeah. So of course when she gets up and leaves, he immediately goes over to the laptop and looks at the picture.
As you do.
As you do. So we cut back to the manor at night now, and Phoebe is looking at the exact same picture in the Book of Shadows.
How did Phoebe land on that? It wasn't the Book of Shadows, it was a thin book.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
It was some other thing that she was looking at. But it was the same print from wood carving or some shit.
Well, it was the same print. It was the exact same picture that Piper...
I know. But
that Prue had just seen.
Phoebe's entire information came from that vision. All she saw was a demon baby.
Well, but, if you look up demon baby, maybe you find something.
She doesn't have a computer. There's no computer in the house. Prue has a laptop at work. Maybe they have one of those lovely 90s conventions of a computer room.
Maybe.
Yeah, that used to be the music room. Like the foyer thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. But, I don't know. Whatever. She's looking at the same picture. She's now wearing a pink knit V-neck sweater.
Yep. Because she can't stay in one outfit all day.
Nope. And Piper comes in holding the box, and she's now wearing a blue sweater over a white shirt with little black dots.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cute with her black pants. And Piper's like, I knew I wasn't crazy. Look at these matches. Look at these napkins. They all say Allison and Elliot, not Jade and Elliot. Well, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Duh. Got it.
Does this prove anything other than that the contract was set with different people?
Yeah. Well, because then she also shows the contract that they had with Chef Moore and that says the wedding of Allison Michaels and Elliot Spencer at the top. So, And Piper and Phoebe are both sad about the fact that Allison is going to have to watch the man she loves marry someone else. And then Phoebe...
Can you imagine having to do that?
Yeah.
No.
And then Phoebe, who just can't hold it in any longer, frantically tells Piper that she's really Hecate, because now she's pronouncing it differently, and that she's pregnant with a demon child, so she has to kill her.
Well, I mean,
but
the way she goes about it is really funny, because how would you land on the conclusion that your sister is a demon
especially since you have gone through all the trouble to tell her that her powers come from good.
Yeah.
But whatever. But, she has to kill her, but not to worry, because she still needs the jeweled poignard to kill her. A la convenience, Prue walks in with it. You're talking about this? But I just love the little Phoebe moment of, the odds, Piper. What are the odds?
Pretty slim.
And then Piper's all, I'm not pregnant, trust me. And then, that's
Phoebe's,
good news. Oh, you kidding? That's great news. Ah, you can live. Which was, it was funny. It was a cute little moment. But then she remembers her vision, and Prue wonders exactly what she saw in the vision, and Phoebe says that she saw the thing being born. And Prue's like, did you actually see Piper? Well, I saw her legs.
You see her face?
Never saw her face? No. And then Piper, hello, bickering sisters, I'm not pregnant, but I am in the room. Which was cute. And then, Piper wonders how Phoebe knew that she took a pregnancy test.
Because she's a snoopy little sister.
Well, Phoebe says she found the box in the bathroom. And Piper says, you're supposed to take the trash out, not dig through it. Well, it's not like you did a good job of hiding it.
True.
You just threw it on the top as you walked out, knowing that Phoebe was walking into the bathroom next. Like, seriously. Seriously. So, then Piper mentions that they have to finish the bathroom schedules right now. Rah, rah, rah. But Prue reminds them that they have bigger problems.
Bigger than the bathroom schedules?
Uh-huh.
No way.
And then she goes on and says that the priest who was killed belonged to a secret order pledged to stop Hecate. And Piper then, as Phoebe says, or as Prue says these words, Piper then remembers that Father Trask said, beware Hecate. And then he tried to kill Jade. So, hey, we now know who Hecate is.
Oh, yeah.
Hukatuki. And then Prue says that she's a demon who comes to Earth every 200 years.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's my question.
The pact happened 20 years ago. Now, granted, they say she comes every 200 years to find an innocent and have a baby. So, she's got other kids.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
She may be able to come at other times for, setup for the 200th year thing.
Maybe.
I'm thinking that's probably
It's the only thing that would maybe make sense. It's the only thing that maybe makes sense, because
Yeah.
otherwise it literally makes no sense.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, Prue says she has to find an innocent, put him under her spell, and marry him in a sanctified wedding, and Phoebe comes back with, that doesn't sound any different than most of the single women in this city. Which is kind of funny. But then we find that, she needs Elliot to impregnate her so that her child will look normal on the outside, but internally and mentally, her child would be pure demon.
Yeah, but the vision
Was a
showed
demon child.
a demon baby.
Yeah.
So the vision was wrong.
Well, no, not necessarily, because we interrupt the wedding and Hecate takes him, and even though they're not in a sanctified marriage, she was going to fuck him and try and get pregnant. So there was the possibility. I will give that there was the possibility.
Or it was meant to be symbolic of how the baby would be.
Yeah, that's why we're seeing it in color, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's convoluted whichever way you put it.
exactly. So Piper's worried about a demon child being brought up with the wealth and power of the Spencer family. And Prue, of course, doesn't think it's a coincidence that she's the one catering the wedding, because she thinks it's one of those things that we can look forward to as protectors of the innocent. And Piper comes back with, well, before we ruin the wedding and my career, let's make sure we're right about Jade.
So naturally, let's sneak onto the compound that Father Trask wasn't able to get onto.
Well, but she's the caterer, so she's allowed on.
She's the caterer and she has freezing powers, so I get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's still weird.
No, what I find weird is that we cut to back at the venue, and they have sneaked up to the window of Jade's room.
Yeah. Full view.
Full view of the window. Like, there's no hiding
Apparently,
it.
this thing is on the ground floor.
Uh-huh. There's no hiding at that window at all.
None.
We do get some of the funnier lines in this scene. But, so the Jade is inside wearing this, like, sheer leopard print robe with, like, a feather detailing thing. It's super weird.
And she picks up this lovely little lingerie and makes some comment about this should make his assets rise. Which, is that the best innuendo you can think of? You're a centuries-old thing who's probably experienced life during a wide swath of human history. You can come up with a funnier joke.
You can. But the fact alone that she makes the joke and all three women with her are her demon pals, I don't... Yeah.
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 And of course, Piper, ever the focused one, sees they haven't touched
her
the deli
food.
trays.
Yeah. Those deli trays took hours. Which, kind of funny, right? And then Kirsten hands Jay the next present with the, you know who this is from, they understand how important it is for you to get pregnant right away.
Awkward writing.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's the fertility statue that Prue recognizes is from the auction house. So now Prue has an inkling that Rex and Hannah may be in on something.
Yep.
And then there's a knock at the door and we have pizza delivery. And Piper's like, they ordered pizza? And the pizza man turns out to be a stripper, to which she goes,
first of all,
now I feel better.
The first tip is that he's wearing the most ill-fitting
Well, yes.
pizza shirt.
Yes.
Like, it's not just, this was the uniform size they happen to have on hand. No, it's like 5 sizes too big for him.
Absolutely.
Even for the 90s.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so he sits the bag down on the chair and pulls out a boombox, and Piper immediately is like, oh, well, I feel better now.
Yeah. Like, okay, now I feel better. Like,
and he starts doing the most
awkward
striptease.
Yeah, the most awkward dancing.
He's out of his clothes in 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just doing this weird, gyrating thing.
Wearing a blue leopard print thong.
Oh my god.
Which is hilarious. And the sisters seem to be enjoying the show through the window.
Phoebe's face this entire scene is my favorite. Because she's just like, oh my god,
yeah. Well, and here's a funny moment for me, right? So he comes in with his hair in a ponytail.
And
we get...
Yeah, it's in a bun, really.
Yeah, whatever. But it's pulled up. And Kirsten's like, he looks good enough to eat. And Jade's all, good idea. And so they all crowd around him. And he starts pulling his hair out of the ponytail in, the most awkward gesture ever. And then we get, girls, I'm the bride.
Yeah, okay, not only did he immediately start taking off his clothes without really, trying to make a preamble of any kind.
Yeah.
He didn't try and give the bride... He didn't ask who the bride was or try to get her in a chair to give her a lap dance, which is
usually what happens.
The standard operating procedure.
Well, but, these are rich people and they're coming to a bedroom.
He's
seriously.
just not a good stripper.
No, he really isn't.
No, they probably found the cheapest one they could find because,
they're going to eat him.
expected to go missing.
Yeah. Going to go eat him. Because she reaches out her hands and claws at him. And now her fingers are these really, big black claw things.
Uh-huh.
And she starts ripping his skin. He just kind of screams and falls to his knees.
Yeah, and for some reason, the sisters don't seem particularly perturbed.
Yeah, they do not...
Prue turns away, but the faces of the other two are just
am I seeing what I'm seeing? That kind of thing.
Confused.
Yeah,
not
they're
alarmed, not disgusted.
Yeah.
There's a scene later where Piper's expression is just completely horrified, which is what she should have been doing at this scene.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes that the girls watching from the window don't seem to be giving the proper expression one would think would be given when seeing a man ripped to shreds.
Yep.
So, yeah. And then we get a commercial break, and as we come back, we have an actual Rice Runner streetcar. So our total is up to 7 for the season. Woohoo! And now we're back at the manor in daytime, and Phoebe is wearing the same pink sweater and black pants. She walks in holding a mug, which, probably has nothing in it, but, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Piper's now lounging on the wicker love seat in the same outfit she was wearing as before.
And there's 1 or 2 lines of ADR in here. And then they go back to it, which they're indoors, so why did they need ADR there?
I don't know. There's a lot of ADR that happens in this episode, so, And now Prue is wearing, a light gray, long sleeve shirt and, light wash jeans with, the biggest fucking buttons on the shirt. It's just weird looking, but whatever. And they're discussing, they have a plan, and they're wondering if Allison will be a willing accomplice in their plan. And Piper mentions that she still loves Elliot, so she probably will. And Prue says that the Book of Shadows says the spell can be broken by a declaration of love sealed with a kiss. Because, sure.
Cliche.
Yeah.
Very cliche.
Yeah. And then we get the lovely back and forth of, it's so romantic, just like a fairy tale. Once Elliot is out of his spell, Jade's out of luck. No wedding, no honeymoon night. To which Prue comes back of, no honeymoon, no sex, no monster child spending alternate weekends with daddy. Which I thought was funny. It was a funny line.
Yep.
So we find that Phoebe and Piper are in charge of getting Elliot. Prue's going to get Allison. They'll meet at the gate at 2:30. Okay, fine. And then Prue says, everybody have their weapons?
Piper goes for the little cell phone.
Prue grabs the bigger one.
And Phoebe goes for the dagger.
With, like, the most giggly face ever.
It was so cute.
Yeah, it was super duper cute. And she's like, and Prue's like, I'll take that. And, yeah, okay. And then we have lovely, CSM incoming. Prue's like, okay, so it's time to shower, shampoo, and go kick some Hecate butt. And then she leaves. And Phoebe's like, did she just say shower? She did, didn't she? And then they both yell, hot water, as they run after her. Which is just like, okay. It's cute, though. It's a very cute.
It's cute.
It's a cute moment. And I remember when I was originally writing my notes, that's all I wrote down was hot water, exclamation point.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was funny. Then we cut back to the venue, and for some reason, they deliberately show us the crosses on the wall.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what that was all about. And Daryl gets off the phone.
Oh, no. They weren't at the venue. They were Father Trask's. They were leafing through his things.
Oh, were they at his place?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes much more sense.
Yeah.
That makes much more sense. Okay.
They were investigating him. They were looking through his stuff.
Okay, that makes much more sense that they were at Father Trask's house. Because I legit was like, why are there crosses on the wall at the venue? Okay, so they show us the crosses on the wall at Father Trask's place. That makes much more sense. Daryl gets off the phone saying the Emmy has officially ruled his death as a homicide because the priest's neck was broken before he went out the window. And Annie's like, told you, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And Daryl's like, so what you're saying, this little 120-pound blushing bride tossed him out the window? I don't think so.
The way he says blushing was really weird.
Yeah, well. Andy, of course, says, the security tapes may tell them who did it. So Daryl's like, that's a good idea. And he starts to make a note of it. And then he's like, I already had them sent to the station.
Dad, did you?
Yeah. It was a cute moment between them. I liked that. Like, it shows them bantering back and forth. And it's
trying
fun.
to outdo each other
Yeah.
in terms of copping.
Yeah. And then back at the manor, the doorbell rings. And Allison, who's now wearing a purple top, comes in. Prue thanks her for coming, and Allison's like, well, you said it was important. And Prue hands her a napkin that just says Allison and Elliot on it. And this particular set of lines, Allison says, where did you get this? And Prue says, this won't take long, I promise. How is that a proper answer?
It's not.
Like, seriously. Yeah. So we cut back to the venue.
Because we can't stay in one place for too long.
Nope, can't do it. And Piper and Phoebe are now wearing little cream coats.
These
over
are
there.
adorable.
Yeah, I actually kind of enjoy these outfits.
This is like, okay, so this is like what lady waitresses at Chippendales would wear.
Yeah, it's like kind of cute. It's these little cream coats with little scoop neck white shirts and little bow ties around their necks.
I know.
It was kind of adorable. But so a man with a box that says seafood starts walking toward them, and Piper's like, I'll need that in the kitchen. And then a woman walks by with a plate of food, and Piper's all, not the sun, go get an umbrella. Which is just really funny, because you know that, like, she's trying so hard to, like, make sure the wedding isn't bad. And then Phoebe reminds her, like, are we trying to stop this wedding? She goes, you're right, I just can't help myself.
She does her job well.
She does, and it's really cute. It's adorable. So as they walk away, people are fixing chairs and putting up other wedding stuff and, whatever. Back to Prue and Allison at the manor.
Yeah.
Because...
split attention.
Yep. Allison's drinking something out of a teacup. But
Maybe nothing.
Maybe nothing. There is a teacup with something in it on the table in front of Prue, but nothing looks to be in the teacup that Allison is actually holding. So now we can see that her purple top is paired with a very pretty purple skirt.
Yes.
It's very nice. And then we get the horrible
The worst ADR. Because it's looking at her and it changes a word she is saying.
Yeah. Like,
it changes 6 weeks to 6 days.
Yeah. But it was not done smoothly.
No, it was not done smoothly. And the whole 6-week thing would have made more sense.
Yes. However, and this is where
Why did they change it?
Because, and this is where I figured out the timing on it, is at the beginning, we see Jade show up.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the manor 1 week later.
Well, yes, but they could have changed that.
They absolutely could have changed that and kept it as 6 weeks, but they didn't. So they had to somehow change it. I don't know what the reasoning...
Although, then they couldn't have had the line about the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. A lot of stuff that, had it been weeks, it would have made a little more sense, but still weird. Like,
I would have voted for a rehearsal dinner 6 weeks before the wedding over this bad ADR. I would have been fine with that being a little weird. Like, okay, the rich people, they really need to rehearse this shit.
yeah, I don't know. Oh, and this was the other, right? So we get Jade appears out of nowhere and starts working at the Spencer family business.
What is the Spencer family business?
Like, we have no idea. We were never told what that is.
There were probably scenes that were cut from this.
Possibly.
Of, like, Jade showing up elsewhere, and then they had to reshoot, so they shot that scene that ended up at the beginning, and who knows?
Yeah, who knows what happened. Yeah, so Spencer family business, we have no idea what it is, but whatever. And then before I could say I do, I was out and she was in, end of story.
That's not the end of story.
Well, no, but Prue asks if she's talked to Elliot, and Allison's like they wouldn't let her see him, but Prue says it's not a surprise, but it wouldn't make a difference anyway, because, Elliot isn't here anymore. It's like, okay, fine. And this moment was kind of fun. Prue is like, what if Elliot isn't himself because this woman's put him under a spell?
So to speak.
Yeah, so to speak.
Now, if they just... Imagine if the sisters just described their powers to people and just tacked on at the end, so to speak.
Yeah.
I can freeze time, so to speak.
Yeah.
I can see the future, so to speak. Imagine how much easier their life would be.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious.
It would be kind of funny.
But that would turn it into more of a psych situation instead of a charmed situation.
Yeah. But, so Prue goes on to say that Elliot still loves her, and Allison says if that were true that she'd be the one getting married. And Piper's like, you still can be, you just have to crash the wedding, which I think is kind of funny. But of course Allison is skeptical and is like, this isn't a fairy tale, real life doesn't work that way.
Which is funny because the scene before at the house, they're like, it's like a fairy tale.
Absolutely. But, Prue asks
lazy writing or a callback. We don't know.
A little bit of both?
Yeah.
But, so Prue asks if she still loves him, and Allison assures her that she does. And so Prue says she wants to help, and Allison's like, why do you want to help a stranger? And we get the best moment of Prue going, have you ever seen that television show where there's that woman who's an angel and she helps strangers every week?
See, I didn't know what show she was talking about. I thought she might be talking about Guiding Light.
No, it's Touched by an Angel.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Touched by an Angel. But Allison's like, I love that show.
Don't get too excited.
I'm nothing like that. Which was just funny enough. And then, she says that she and her sisters have special gifts. The kind you can't return. Which I think she said before.
Yeah.
I think that was a line in the pilot, or at least something close to it in the pilot.
I don't know. I mean, they did euphemisms about gifts in the pilot for sure. I don't know if they did anything about not being able to return them.
I think they did, but I honestly don't remember at this point. That was, like a month ago.
Oh my god, that was so long ago.
So long ago.
We can't be expected to remember that long ago.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's not like I have my notes or anything. But yeah, and then Prue's like, let's just say we come from a very interesting family tree.
So many euphemisms in this conversation.
Yeah. So she tells Allison that if she'll trust her, that she can get her and Elliot back together, and Allison agrees. And we cut back to the venue, and now we see Mrs. Spencer in a red outfit that has like a scoop neck and a big collar and like this
textured
crosshatch pattern thing and really large buttons. But again, super pretty looking. Like it's really nicely tailored to her. It's
Hella
lovely.
classy, lady.
Yeah, it's super nice. And she's with Elliot, who seems to be in a very dazed state.
and sad.
So sad.
He looks so sad.
So sad.
Sad and dazed and confused.
Yeah, in his lovely little white shirt with the black vest and the black bow tie because he's getting married. She asks his forgiveness, but of course he has no response because dazed.
He's doped.
Yeah. Then Piper and Phoebe come walking down the hall, and Kirsten, in a long red dress and white gloves, comes out of one room, closes the door, and Piper makes the line of stripper-eating bridesmaid ahead. Which was just hilarious. And now Kirsten is standing in front of a different door, and Phoebe and Piper walk up, and they're like, we need to talk to Mr. Spencer. And Kirsten's like, no one sees the groom before the ceremony. And Piper's like, actually, that would be the bride? This will only take a minute. And Kirsten's, what part of no did you not understand? To which Piper comes back, the non-original part?
A+ Sassy Piper.
Yeah, I like Sassy Piper a lot. But then Grace comes out of the room and asks if there's a problem, to which we get Phoebe of, ugh, don't get me started, which is kind of funny. Then we get Piper with the, can we talk to you a sec? It'll, in private. What is that sentence structure?
I think she was gonna say, it'll take him.
Second, yeah, I get that, but it was just like, it'll, in private. Like, what? Maybe because I was watching this, so late at night, it was starting to get loopy.
Yeah.
It was funny to me.
No, and then they walk down the hall.
Down the hall.
That's not
private.
private.
Yeah. But, what you gonna do, right? And so, of course, she asks if everything's all right, and Piper's like, it's about your son. And Piper flounders for what to say until Phoebe just nudges her.
Yeah.
And she's all, he's not supposed to marry Jade. And Grace is like, I know. I
She
know more
knows.
than you could possibly imagine. So Piper says that they can help. Grace says it's too late. But
Phoebe's
like, we can stop the wedding. We have a
a
plan.
plan. I can push my boobs up.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand that. It was very funny.
She was trying to get to her chest, but the boobs are always in the
They
way.
really, really are.
Always in the way.
Yes. So Grace tells them to go to the wine cellar and wait for her, and that she'll join them in 10 minutes. And then she says in a loud enough voice for Kirsten to hear that there's nothing she can do for them. Which I totally get that she's trying to play it up, fine, whatever. So the girls go to the wine cellar.
Yeah.
Now, Piper apparently hears something outside, and Phoebe assures her that there's still 30 minutes until the wedding. So they creep down the stairs and pass some boxes, and two of the bridesmaids immediately come in.
Okay, so did
Grace send them?
I know,
Did
did
Kirsten
Kirsten?
send them? Like, who knows?
Did Kirsten just overhear?
Possibly demon hearing, you never know.
Did Kirsten just think something is up?
Maybe.
And so
Follow
tell her
them?
cronies, hey,
Yeah.
watch these two.
Yeah, possibly. Because literally there's no reason for them to have showed up in
Yeah.
that wine cellar. But whatever. So then, with some lovely green screen action,
Oh, yeah.
we see that they are
Green
also
screen
demons.
morphing,
Yeah.
wherein the structure of their dresses slightly changes.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. But,
Because
whatever.
I guess that whatever prosthetics they have on go like down to their shoulders or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's like a whole head thing because that's easier to deal with, I guess.
Yep. But, so, Piper and Phoebe are holding hands as they're backing away.
It's so cute.
And Piper's trying to freeze them, and it's not working. And then Phoebe notices that Piper has frozen a fly.
Well, you see the fly a second before, like when
Yeah, like you
Piper
hear the
starts
buzzing.
No, you see it on screen.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you see it
I
on
heard the
screen
buzzing.
go in front of Phoebe with the first time Piper tries to freeze, and then it goes off screen, and that's when Piper does another freeze, and then Phoebe points it out. So you
Okay.
see the fly on screen.
Okay, see that I didn't see the fly. I heard the fly. They put in a little
Yeah.
buzzing noise. But yeah, so
But it's not working because Piper's not close enough apparently
Which-
because her powers are still growing.
right. Which if this had been the second episode, that would make sense.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. So we get the line of "forget it, run," and then they go running
They
around.
run. And then the bridesmaids morph back into people,
Yeah.
and they calmly walk down the stairs and then start glancing side to side, which you saw where they ran.
Yeah.
Why are you glancing?
Yeah.
You go that
Absolutely.
direction.
Absolutely. They're just, sauntering. But this is the first time that Piper freezes something with only one hand.
Yeah.
Even if it is just a fly.
Well, because her other hand is holding Phoebe, and
Yes.
Phoebe does the little cute, hand tap.
Yeah, it's kind of adorable. So then we get a commercial break, and then we're back at the police station, and a man drops off a box with a dozen VHS tapes to Daryl, which is kind of funny. And then he's like, the Spencers sure go in for a lot of security. And then we see Andy tapping away at his computer, which is it's just very funny tapping. Daryl throws him a tape. He goes, they hope that something will be on the tapes that shows when the priest was killed. And he pops the VHS into a VCR. And then we cut back to the venue. Because can't stay in one place too fucking long.
Nope.
And Allison and Prue are outside, and it's apparently 10 minutes after the time they were supposed to meet.
So where the hell are Piper and Phoebe?
Yeah. Cut
Cut
back
to-
down to the wine cellar.
And Piper and Phoebe are creeping around. Piper's cell phone rings, and she picks it up in the quickest pickup ever.
Yep.
It barely got through the first ring.
Yep. Yep.
Which, it's probably in her pants pocket. So you need to dig around in there a little bit, and then open it, and then press a button.
Yeah, but, TV.
Yeah.
TV. But, so, the phone rings, she answers it, Prue asks where they are, she says they're in the wine cellar, that they need help. And the bridesmaids now know where they are, because they were on the opposite side of the wine cellar. On the opposite side of,
Yeah.
a wine rack. It's
would've
not
heard the
that big a
phone, too.
fucking wine cellar,
No, it's not.
It's really not. But, so, whatever. So they start to run away, the bridesmaids go after them, and then we cut upstairs to Kirsten and Jade in the bedroom, with Grace looking sadly out the window. And Kirsten hands Jade a present, saying it's for something borrowed, and Jade is laughing as she opens the package.
Maniacally.
Yeah, apparently it's Faust, and she
read
loves
the-
it.
she
She
read
read it
this
the last time she was
here.
here. And then it's, what about my something blue? And Kirsten just motions to Grace. It's like, you're right, nothing's bluer than the heart of a mother giving away her only son. Well, yeah, especially when she's giving him away to a demon.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
It's a demon.
A demon, yes. They snicker, and then Jade throws the book on the bed before they leave. Alright. And then we get back to the police station, and they're still looking at the security tapes, and we see Grace and Kirsten on the monitor. And this, again, with a lovely back and forth between Daryl and Andy. Of Daryl is, it's just two women talking, you can't even hear them. And Andy's like, what, you don't read lips?
Newsflash, Andy, you don't. Reading lips, not that easy.
No, it really, really isn't. But he says that, Grace is saying something about killing a priest isn't part of the deal, and Daryl says, damn, you're good. And Andy just gives him this, damn right I am kind of look. It was kind of funny. It was cute.
Oh my god. I mean, that was what she was saying, but I can tell that because I know what she's saying and I'm reading for that on the lips.
Yes.
But there's a reason why the guy doing bad lip reading on YouTube is so fucking funny.
Yes.
Because you can read lips a lot of ways and make it plausible that they're saying that. Granted, a lot of the things they might say won't be sensical.
Well, yes.
But sometimes they'll just be fucking hilarious.
Yes.
But you can make it into words. Not necessarily a coherent sentence, but words. And as you're saying it, you look, and yes, that's what they're saying.
Absolutely. But, it's a convenience factor, because stuff and things. So back at the venue, the wedding is now starting. We get the Here Comes the Bride playing.
Very interesting arrangement of that, too.
Yeah. And we only see one bridesmaid, which is Kirsten.
Because the other two are downstairs.
Yeah, and two groomsmen, who we've never seen before.
Of course not. And, oh god, those white tuxes do not fit.
I totally wrote, white suit jackets. Interesting choice. But whatever.
You'd think that it would just be the groom in the white suit jacket?
You'd think so, but apparently not. Nope. So Jade starts walking up, and we cut to the crowd, which they all look to be the most uninterested bunch of people.
Yes, there's ill-fitting suits as far as the eye can see.
Yes, and short dresses.
Yeah.
Short dresses.
Also, the woman who's directly behind Mama Spencer looks familiar.
Oh, I don't even remember now.
No, you don't have to.
But I just think it's interesting, though, these people, this is, again, it becomes the question of what? Because you'd think these people, came for the wedding of Elliot and Allison, and all of a sudden it's now Allison's gone and Jade is in, and you'd think somebody would have questioned it. You know what I mean? Especially when Grace was all you can't move in, people will question. What? Why are they not questioning? Why? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this episode, man, just gets me. Whatever. So now they're standing in front of the officiant who goes into his old dearly beloved speech. Jade looks happy and Elliot looks in a daze.
Jade's veil. I do not care for that edge. It's a rolled thing. It looks fucking weird.
Yeah.
And also she's, with her hair pulled the way it is, there's, this one curl that comes from the back of her bangs out to the front and just, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. The entire thing is weird, but whatever. So we cut back down to the wine cellar, and Piper and Phoebe have made it to the stairs, but the door won't open. However, the bridesmaids are now close enough for Piper to feast them, so she does.
Well, once they walk down a couple stairs.
Well, yeah. But, and then Prue, a la convenience, comes in and magics them into the boxes behind them.
And the bridesmaids have a really weird yell when that happens.
Well, yeah. But we hear lots of sounds of, bottles rattling and shit, but you can clearly see the boxes are basically empty.
Yep.
What? Yeah,
Well, you can't have them actually being thrown into boxes that have glass because that's a safety hazard.
I know. And it's a credit scene, so, it has to be lovely. But, yeah, so Phoebe mentions the nice timing. Piper asks where Allison is, and Prue's like, oh, she's upstairs, and then they all leave the wine cellar. Because let's just leave the bridesmaids downstairs just knocked out for a moment.
Yeah, well, they have to get up into public so the bridesmaids can't eat them.
Yeah. So back upstairs, we've gotten to the speak now or forever hold your peace bit.
And the sisters convenience.
Yep, the sisters and Allison come in with, I have a reason, and Allison's all, I love you, Elliot. And then we have Jade going, why, you little witch? To which Piper gets all indignant, hey! And then, as I was writing my original notes of the, just watching the show and just writing as I was going, I legit wrote in my notes, Hecate says some bullshit. Which is just so true. She comes up with, by Asteria and Persis, open sky and do your worst. Really?
Well, she's doing this, weird shoulder movement thing.
Yeah, it was just super weird. Super weird.
And stupid.
Yeah. Then the wind goes crazy, starts blowing leaves and papers all around.
And she
grabs Elliot.
And pulls him away in what very, very strongly reminded me of Prince of Thieves.
Okay.
Like, the bit at the end where the Sheriff of Nottingham, like, drags Marion into a castle or something.
I don't think I've seen Prince of Thieves, but okay.
It's
I'll
not
take
my
your word
favorite
for it.
movie, but it's interesting. It's
I'll
got,
take
like,
your word
Christian
for it.
Slater in it and Kevin Costner.
All right. I'll take
So
your word
naturally,
for it.
Kevin Costner can't do a British accent, so he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Uh-huh.
But,
It's no
Yeah.
Men in Tights.
I like Men in Tights. I've seen that one. But yeah, so Jake grabs Elliot, runs away, and then people are running out of the front gate.
But Alan Rickman is the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
I like Alan.
And Morgan Freeman is in it, too.
Okay.
As the token black guy.
As you do. But yeah, okay, so Jade grabs Elliot, runs away, and people are running out of the front gate when Andy and Daryl drive up.
He's like, what's going on here?
Well,
A
this is
wedding,
exciting.
Andy.
I wonder
Duh.
what's going on.
A wedding, Andy. You know what's going on here.
Yes, but people are running out, so that's where the excitement is. But inside the house, we then see that Elliot is on the bed with his jacket off, and Jade is on top of him, and then she goes all demony, and even her hair changes, which I thought was very funny. She becomes more blonde.
Well, the entire headpiece was different. She
Well-
gets horns.
Yes. Piper opens the door with Prue and Phoebe behind her, and of course freaks out a little bit.
Yes, they freaked out more here than they did when she was eating the goddamn stripper.
Yeah.
That was the reaction we needed to see from them.
Yep. And Jade, now in Hecate form, turns to face them and growls, and there's where we have our Buffy-looking credit scene.
Yeah. And the bridesmaids come in and push them over, and Prue drops her purse.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though.
Continuity error.
Yeah, absolutely continuity error, but we don't actually see her drop the purse.
No, we don't.
They just push her. She had the purse on her shoulder, and the next cut of her going, standing back up, there's no purse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but there's a big continuity error coming up in
yeah.
a moment. Prue says that they have to, quickly banish them to the underworld.
Elliot rolls off the bed.
Well, because, Jade got off of him, and so for some reason now he has the ability to roll off the bed.
Yeah.
Prue is now looking for the dagger,
In her purse.
thing in her purse.
We cut to Elliot, who's clearly laying on the floor next
to
to
her
her
purse.
with a dagger coming out of it.
Yeah.
Except, no wait, Prue's holding her purse.
Yeah,
and her purse laying on the floor.
And they're completely different purses.
Yeah. So
So-
at first I was thinking, oh, did she walk in with two bags? And then I rewound to look at when they walk in the door. She's only got the one.
Yeah. So who the fuck knows?
Someone needs a continuity master. Mm-hmm. God damn it.
So much continuity error. So Phoebe yells Elliot, and so now that he has the
He
knife,
holds it up.
He holds it up.
Shuts it, and
it glints. Yeah. And glows a little. Piper tells Prue to do something. So
we don't exactly know what Prue does. We hear the sound effect that means she's used her power.
right, and she just kind of magics them into the dagger.
They get kind of vacuumed up by the tip of the dagger,
Yeah.
and stuck in one of the gems along the
because
hilt.
if you didn't notice
Crossguard, rather.
that the gems go red, white, red, red, and the
Yeah.
bridesmaids are in red dresses, and then the bride is in white. Yeah. But so she whooshes their bodies into the dagger. Now here's my question, right? If it's a fucking dagger, why aren't they being stabbed with it? I don't understand
It's
it.
the most nonchalant vanquishing ever.
Yeah, it's super crap is what it is.
Yeah.
Super duper crap. Whatever. So as soon as the knife finishes glowing, because now it's filled with demons, Elliot breaks out of his daze and whoever you three are, thank you. And then he just hands Prue the knife, as you do. And then we cut outside, and Elliot, who now has his suit jacket back on, is sharing an embrace and a kiss with Allison.
Mm-hmm.
And now we see that Prue's outfit is a mint-colored dress with a darker mint sweater over top.
Wasn't it blue in the room?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Again, so much continuity. I can't even with this episode. So they're all excited because, they help them get back together. They're going to live happily ever, ever, blah, blah, blah. So this was a cute moment. We have a CSM of,
Honey,
I froze the kids. But it's the whole thing is, Piper's wondering if they're ever going to have a happily ever after, and Prue's like, of course we will, why wouldn't we? And Piper's like, that's easy for you to say. You'll never greet your husband at the door with, honey, I think I froze the kids. And Prue says, no, I've just accidentally moved them to another zip code.
To which Phoebe adds, but
But
I will see them, find them, and bring them back safely. If I can ever learn to control my powers.
Yes, which, again, if this was the second episode, that would make a little bit more sense. It still makes sense because they're still trying to control their powers, but whatever. And then, Phoebe says that, if Elliot and Allison can overcome the obstacles they've had to overcome, then they can do so too. And Prue is like, I guess true love does conquer all. To which Phoebe says, especially if you have separate bathrooms. Which, totally true.
Yeah.
Totally, totally true. And then we get a speaking of true love as we see Andy walking toward them in a brown suit and like the widest fucking tie I have ever seen.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a remnant from the 80s.
Yeah, it is super wide tie. And then, Prue gives Beck the knife to Andy because she's finished with it, and he wants to know how she knew that he'd be there, and she goes, I didn't, I was just going to bring it at the end of the wedding. And then he says, should we talk about this in private? Like, talk about what? He takes her arm, and they walk off together, and then Phoebe and Piper have this cute little back and forth. Do you believe in destiny? He believes in destiny. Shh. Like, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, they have the best sister chemistry.
They really do.
Especially in these early seasons. Like, it matures as they go on.
Yeah.
But here, it's just adorable.
Yeah. Because then they do a little giggle and they go off screen and we get another shot of Prue and Andy walking away and then we get the end credits.
Yeah.
And it was super cute. Like, that was a nice way to end it. But again, there are so many things about this episode.
Yeah.
So many that I just cannot forgive.
Yeah.
So we go to our ratings. I gave it a 2 out of 10. Horrible continuity errors and timing fuck-ups. It basically only gained an additional point for the cute sister moments.
Yeah, that's why that's why I'm giving it a 3 out of 10 Blue Mama Spencers.
Nice. Yeah. It just... Literally, if it had not been for the cute little sister moments, this would have been a 1 for me. Like, it is by far my least favorite episode of the entire series.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that we are done talking about it now and I never have to think about it again.
Oh my god. Okay.
Except I still have to edit this fucking episode.
My favorite outfits, definitely the little tuxes that Phoebe and Piper are wearing.
Yes, those are super duper cute.
Super cute.
Super duper cute.
Oh my god. Super cute.
Super cute.
Plus, it makes sense that they would be at Chippendales in those outfits because, only the men need to be strippers. The women can be modestly dressed.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, like, the jackets are the size and length of, like, a waistcoat or something. A waistcoat.
Yeah. They're, like, bitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah. So, all right. I think we will end today with 12-year-old Kendra's silencing spell because I wish this fucking episode would be silent.
Yeah. Ugh. This mouth flaps out with too many words and many things that should not be heard. Spirits, please do silence them and control their mouths for my every whim.
Hey, you were 12, as we say every
That's
week.
my excuse, apparently.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, well, fuck that shit, so.
Yeah, so I think that's it for us this week. So you can email us at charmchats@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can get us on Facebook, Instagram, a Tumblr, Patreon, everything at Charm Chats. We have our Twitter
and Tumblr.
Yeah, Twitter, and one of our Tumblrs is Charm Chats Pod. But you can always get us at our website at charmchats.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, and if you follow us on Snapchats, you'll get a lot of snaps of Blue on Sundays.
Absolutely. Follow us on Snapchat. It's a good time.
Tis.
Tis quite.
Well, yes. It's quite a good time.
Tis quite. So that is us. Until next time.
This is Charm Chats.
Bye.
Bye. Nighty-night. Don't let the warlocks bite.